Hello, today I wanted to talk about one of the most common questions and points of debate amongst Disney fans, the size of Walt Disney World. Okay, well, the actual size of Disney is not up for debate. It's a pretty finite number. But all the time people argue about whether Disney World or Disneyland is better, with the biggest difference being, you guessed it, their size. And I did some research and took the usual comparison one step further by throwing Universal Studios into the mix, because I think a lot of people looking into vacations in Florida probably want to consider that as well. Knowing the size of what you plan to visit is a very important first step in planning your Disney vacation. Maybe you're planning your first trip to Disney, or you've been before and you're not really sure whether or not to give Disneyland or Universal a go. Whatever your purpose is, this video is for you. So how big is Walt Disney World? You may have heard that Disney World is twice the size of Manhattan, or about 43 square miles. That's about the same size as San Francisco. Disney World has 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, over 30 hotels and resorts, the Disney Springs shopping area, and numerous other recreational activities. It is very big, and most of the activities are not within walking distance of each other. On the other hand, Disneyland occupies a grand 0.7 square miles, or 460 acres. This includes both theme parks, 3 on-site hotels, the downtown Disney shopping area, and the few remaining amenities and parking structures. Disneyland is way smaller and much more densely packed together. You could actually fit Disneyland inside of Walt Disney World almost 60 times. For sake of comparison, just the walk from the back of All-Star Music to the front will take you around 6 minutes, which is about 0.4 miles. The walk from Astro Orbiter to Grand Legacy at the park, which is a resort located outside of Disneyland, will only take you an additional 6 minutes at 0.6 miles. In Disneyland, it's very easy to get around everywhere by foot, including areas outside the resort. In Disney World, you'll hardly go a whole day without using some kind of transportation, whether it's car, bus, boat, or monorail. So now we understand the difference between the two, let's throw Universal into the equation. Universal Studios is just a little bit larger than Disneyland, at 1.2 square miles in size. Universal offers similar amenities to Disneyland with 2 theme parks, 6 on-site hotels, and the City Walk shopping area. Universal Studios is similar to Disneyland, like 90% of your destinations can be reached by foot if you're staying on-site, it's just a little bigger. So why is Walt Disney World so much bigger? This is actually really interesting. When Walt first bought the land for Disneyland in the 1950s, nothing like this had ever really been done before, and he had no idea how successful the park would become. In fact, he was just worried about not losing all his money on this project. The good news was Disneyland was a huge success, and that didn't happen at all. The bad news was that soon businesses sprouted up and ate up all the land faster than they could handle, making it impossible to expand and purchase more land at a decent price. This was one of Walt's biggest regrets, and a mistake he swore to never make again. For Disney World, he had big plans, and he didn't want any outsiders spoiling his vision. So he gave himself plenty of space to work with. 43 square miles, to be exact. Okay, so great, but why are you telling me this? Staying off-site is only really easy at Disneyland, which, as I mentioned, is violently littered with properties within walking distance. Universal is at least a brief drive, and Walt Disney World is 40 square miles large, so you can imagine that staying entirely off property will mean a bit of a drive. Just for frame of reference, most people recommend staying at Walt Disney World anywhere from 5 days to a whole week, but many people stay for longer. Disneyland, on the other hand, is much smaller. You'll tend to see people tackle the trip in 2 to 4 days, but any longer, and most people would say your time is better spent at other local destinations. So that's how long the average person stays, but how long should I stay? That's quite an excellent question, but as you can imagine, the answer could become complicated very easily. At least far more complicated than I plan to tackle in this video, but don't worry, I have a lot to say. In the meantime, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more Disney and theme park content. See you guys later.